Hello, everyone. Welcome to William, the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have André. André is from Brazil, but he lives in Salt Lake City in the USA. So let's see what André has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, André. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
It's just barely started. It's actually still like for a Sunday, it's still early in the morning here in Utah. And
Uh-huh.
so I just did my morning routine, breathing exercises, shower, skincare routine, and these things.
So tell me, what has been the highlights of your weekend so far?
Uh, I guess that the highlight of my weekend was my nephew's birthday party last night. We
Mm-hmm.
went to a friend's house and we had some pizza, cake. We played some games. We watched a movie, which I didn't like very much, but okay, that happens. But yeah, it was the highlight of the weekend.
Amazing. So tell me, where are you from, André?
I'm originally from Rio Grande do Sul. It's a state in the very south of Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in the countryside, and my parents moved to the city when I was about 9,
Mm-hmm.
uh, for education and job opportunities, of course, for us, their children. We are six siblings total, and
Wow.
so it's a big family. And then I lived in the United States back in 2006 for a few months in Florida. So yeah, but originally from Brazil, the South. Mhm.
And where are you based right now?
Right now, I'm based in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Mm-hmm. And why? Why Salt Lake City?
My sister has been here for the past almost 4 years now. And
Mm-hmm.
it's always been one of my dreams to actually live in the United States. And once the opportunity like popped up, I came to Utah because, first of all, of course, I talked to my sister about Utah. I asked her, how Mormon is the state today? And then she explained to me that it's not as Mormon as it used to be because of the Olympics that they had here. Now we are about to have another Olympic Games season here. And so it opened up the doors of the state to other people come and live here.
Yeah.
So we have one of the strongest LGBTQ communities in the country.
Wow.
So this is another reason why I chose Utah. It's a very peaceful state. Like I feel very safe here, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of violence, of course. And it's a very, I guess it's becoming a more diverse state as well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say about the Mormons because I had a few guests on the show from Salt Lake City, and they mentioned as well about it. I had a lovely gentleman. He mentioned a little bit about it as well.
Yeah, I used to be a Mormon until I was 19.
Wow.
Uh, because my family, like my sister, my mother, they are Mormon and everything. My father used to be too. And so when I was 19 and I came to Florida, I started having a whole new perspective on life. And
Yep.
then I was like, I don't think that attending a church means that you are actually faithful or that you have a faith or that you believe or don't believe in God. So I just stopped going.
And what do you do for work for living, André?
I'm an English teacher
Mm-hmm.
and an English tutor. I've been so since I was 16, so it's
Wow.
been almost 24 years. It's quite the
Wow.
journey. And I love it. It's my passion. Teaching is my passion. I love teaching and helping others and everything. Uh-huh.
Amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far. Okay?
Sounds great.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Something interesting or something that not many people know. Um, I think that at the same time that I'm a very sociable, friendly, out and easygoing person, I guess many people don't know that I have my shutdown moments,
Mm-hmm.
like my quiet moments, the moments that I don't want to talk to anyone, I don't want to see anyone, I don't want to, you know. So these things happen. I guess that is one of the things that people take me for granted in that aspect. Like when they meet me for the first time, they see me on social media, and then they meet me on for the first time. They expect something,
Yeah.
and I can be a very easy extrovert person, easygoing extrovert person, but I have my moments.
Totally, totally. I think it's interesting how, when you post your pictures, your social life on social media, and people they have this impression, which is normal, yeah. And sometimes when they come to you, you're expecting that uplift all the time. You know what I mean? And it's not always like that,
Yeah, I agree.
basically. Andre, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes, of course. Let's do
Amazing.
it.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best full of random questions. I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay?
Okay.
I'm playing Shusha, by the way.
Okay.
Let's do it. Right. So before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change. Okay? Right. I think this question is going to be easy. And after checking your profile, I believe you have a partner. Yeah. So I think this question suits you well. Okay. How would your partner describe yourself?
Uh, as a strong, witty man.
Tell me about it.
I think it's because of everything that I've been through in life, and I told like he knows the darkest parts, and the way that I pushed through it and went through these moments. Um, and witty because I could say that at the same time that I am book smart, I am very street smart. And
Hmm.
he said that I have a knack to get what's going on in the moment and try to always lighten up the mood of what's happening. So yeah, so this is why. Like he says, I carry life in a
Hmm.
very easy way, you know. I try
And your
to
part
I can.
and your partner is from Brazil as well, or from the US?
No, he's from California. He's from California.
And how did your path cross, if you can share?
On Facebook.
Wow.
He posted something on Facebook as a joke. He posted boyfriend applications, please submit here. And I saw we friended each other maybe a couple months after I moved here.
Yeah.
And so then when I saw the post, it was February last year. And then I commented, may I? And then he texted me on the Messenger on Facebook, and he was like, "So you wanna apply to be my boyfriend?" And I asked him, "Why not?"
I love it.
And then we started a whole conversation. And then I had to head off to the gym. I was like, okay, I have to go. Talk to you later. And then he was like, so if you're interested in continuing this conversation or in keeping up with this conversation, and then he sent me his phone number. I added him to my contact list and I sent him a text message and I said, so here I am. This is my number. And then Sunday, the next day, it was a Saturday, Sunday, the next day, we video called on FaceTime. and we spoke for 8 hours on a video call.
Wow. I've got goosebumps now. My God.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was an instant connection,
Amazing.
like the interest, the conversation, like, and we didn't talk about we talked a little bit about the most sexual part of the relationship, but most of it was about the other aspects of relationships and of life and of us of ourselves. And then we watched the movie together at night that day, like online, because he was still based in California. He's from LA.
All right.
Yeah, and then he on Tuesday, we are both Sagittarius. So on Tuesday of that same week, I asked him to be my boyfriend on a video call.
Wow.
And then we hadn't met each other face to face yet. So we just kept going on with the video calls. And then March, that same year, the first weekend, I went to California to meet him, and it was way beyond our expectations. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. And how long has been since your first call?
Uh, it was gonna be a year now.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
gonna be a
Okay,
year.
so your boyfriend is watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say?
Um, I would just say to him that I really appreciate him being himself,
Mhm.
and the fact that I appreciate him as a person because of everything he has been through as well. And that I love like every bit of him, even the imperfections, because he's very concerned about them. So I love those, even those.
I love it. Oh, I love the situation about both of you watching a movie together, like
Yeah,
separated, like different parts. That's amazing. You just give me
yeah.
ideas to people now. I love
We
it.
did, we did it a few times.
That's amazing. You know, Sagittarius, talking about astrology, you know, Sagittarius, they have the biggest heart compared with the other star sign astrology. Did you know that?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
we are very wholehearted people.
Uh, Next question, let's do it. Hey, André, next question for you is describe yourself in 3 words.
So witty, um, easygoing,
Mhm.
and creative.
And when you think about yourself, what's the biggest joy of being André? What do you like the most about being you?
The fact that I make friends pretty easily.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess that this um we as human beings we were not meant to be alone.
Mhm.
So I am really grateful for the fact that I can make friends pretty easily. I It's also an issue because I trust people too easily as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
So like sometimes sharing secrets or things that you wouldn't share if you didn't trust people that easily. But I don't mind. Like, people will be people and they will do them, I will do me and
And
it,
you always been this way?
yes,
Yeah.
always. Since I was a kid actually. Since I was a kid.
Great. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, what's the biggest joy of being a teacher? Yeah, what do you like the most about teaching? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging about the career?
Well, the best part of being a teacher is the sense of accomplishment for others. Uh,
Mhm.
like when students come to me and go like, "Oh, teacher, I was able to understand like what they said in that movie," or I was traveling across the United States or across an English-speaking country, whatever it is, and I was able to communicate, or I got a promotion in my job because of my language skills, or I passed that proficiency exam. I got a very good score because of my language skills. So this is the best part. And on the flip side, though, I have the fact that The issues with students that will blame the teacher for their not learning.
Interesting. It's an interesting point. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's if of course, like I know I am a good teacher. Like I've
Mhm.
heard of it, I've trained for it, I've worked for it. And so when a student, I've had like a couple of complaints, not I mean, I've been teaching for 24 years. It's impossible not to have any.
Of course.
Um, and the complaints that I got always came from students that were not doing their fair share. So
Right.
like, man, don't even.
And so your classes, so you teach English for foreign people that don't have English as their first language, yeah?
Yeah.
So do you teach online? Do you have like a place that you teach as well? How does work your schedules?
I teach online, private lessons, and I
Yeah.
also teach in an international school in a city here in Utah called West Valley, and the name of the school is American One.
Oh, wow. And I believe most of your students, they are Brazilian or Portuguese or
At the school, no.
uh-huh,
But online, yes. Most of them are Brazilian.
I see. Okay. Next question for you is, do you have any pet peeves?
Any pets?
Pet peeves? Pet peeves? I don't know.
Pet peeves.
Yeah.
Um, I think I don't actually.
Interesting.
I think I'm a pretty okay person.
You don't
Uh,
have any noise you that gets you sometimes your nerves, you know what I mean?
oh, I have something. I
There's
have
always
something.
something. There's always
I
like, oh my, I'm sure he
uh,
got some.
yes, like technology when it doesn't work when how it's supposed to.
Wow, that's a big one, actually. That's a big one.
Because I'm a very curious person. So I search a lot of before buying or using any kind of technology. And when I use it and it doesn't freaking work the way I want it to, it it annoys me. Like my boyfriend knows that. Like when he gave me the Apple Watch for Christmas, and it was not like connecting to my phone, I had him on like maybe I'm done. If you want to try it, just do it. Like I can't. I hate it.
It's working out properly?
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's amazing. I love it. But he did it. He connected it. He did it. He called Apple because I don't have I am a very patient person, but I don't
Right.
have the patience for that. You know, like, oh, if you
Interesting.
have to call customer service, you have to deal with it. I'm like,
I know.
no. I would rather go to a store and have them help me than
Yeah.
call customer service.
I can see now next time when he gonna give something like similar to that, he gonna do everything before he even presents you the present. You know what I mean? He gonna go like, you know what? Everything's already settled.
Exactly.
Next one, let's do it. Hey, Andrea. Next question for you is: do you consider yourself to be a spiritual person, and how?
Um, Not as much as before.
Okay.
I am a very sentimental person, but
Mhm.
spiritual not as much as I used to be. Like I firmly believe in God and everything. But what I try to do is like I think that my most spiritual moments is when I am in nature or by the sea. These are the moments that I feel most connected to everything that is higher or bigger than us. So yeah.
What's the meaning of life for you, Andrea?
For me, life is doing the best you can with whatever you've got. And trying to be as easy on yourself as you can because life is hard as it is. So I guess that if you can be easy on yourself and others, just do it. It's good.
And so far, what has been the most maybe meaningful or painful lesson that life has taught you?
Um, That's a hard one. But I have a few, but I guess that the biggest lesson that I've learned is that we have to enjoy people who are part of our lives while they are still part of our lives.
Wow.
Because our paths may grow apart, or people may pass. You never know when.
Yeah.
The only thing we know for sure is that it will happen. So just seize every moment and just enjoy it, while you still can, because you never know. So that
Absolutely.
like always, yeah, I guess this is the main one.
Amazing. Ready for another question?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next one. Before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of waking up in Salt Lake City every single morning?
The mountains. I love the fact that, like, if I look outside my window right here, I see the mountains. If you are driving anywhere in any direction, like you see mountains, and it's for me, it's so nice. I love it.
And if I would come to Salt Lake City for the very first time, what is the postcard of the city? What's a place that I shouldn't miss it? I can't miss it if I would come to visit.
I guess that I guess the mountains.
Mhm,
Either that or the Great Salt Lake. These are the two places that are like the Great Salt Lake is unbelievable.
mhm.
It's something out of this world. Like such a big lake made out
Uh-huh.
of salt. It's
And
it's crazy. It's crazy.
and you see yourself living there for a long while, André?
Yes, I actually do. I like it here pretty much. And then after here, it's either like Europe or Europe.
Interesting. Anywhere specific or not?
Spain.
Ah, oh wow. And why Spain?
Because of the culture, the weather, the people, I guess it's where it's most similar to Brazil in the
Yeah,
countries of Europe.
yeah.
And it's also one of the most gay-friendly states in Europe. So yeah, this is why.
Anywhere specific in Spain or any?
Barcelona, probably.
Somehow I knew you'd say that.
I have friends that live there, and when I talk to them, I'm like, oh my.
Yeah, but actually, I've never been to Barcelona, and it's a place to be. I think the gay scene there. There's cities. I'm sure you heard about cities. So it's a place where people they feel they can be themselves, and I think as you said, it's warm. It's all very tourist as well. People tend friendly, gay friendly as well. So I think it's a great place to be for sure.
Mhm.
Cool. Next question is, if you could have a cup of tea or a coffee with a fictional character, who that would be and why?
With a fictional character. Wow. With hmm, Miranda Priestley.
Oh my God, the good one. That's amazing. If you had the opportunity to sit down with her for a tea, what would be your first question?
I think I would talk to her about why she is so hard on herself and other people.
Good
Uh,
one.
and like what was the hardest thing for her on her journey towards success? Like what is the thing not the hardest thing, but what she had to give up in order to be that successful? Because we all
What?
if we
Yeah,
want success, we always need to give up something. So it's part of it.
I'm sure you've watched the movie, and which part of the movie is your like favorite?
All of it. I love every bit of the movie. I'm obsessed with that movie. I've watched it
You
so
know,
many times that if the movie is playing, I know the dialogues by heart, and like I will speak with the characters. And even like their manners, like when they speak and the way that they talk.
there are some on YouTube. You can find some scenes, like some bits of it, and there's like a selection. And sometimes I go through as well. It's like, my God, how amazing is to see it. And
One of
I
the
don't know
best.
if you know, but the Devil Wears Prada play started in London a few months ago, and it's been like amazing. I haven't watched yet. I had a friend over from Dublin the other day, and we he was so excited, but we didn't kind of organized, and it was sold out for the day, for the weekend, so we couldn't see it. But
Uh,
I tell you, for the next, I think by February, in February, I think I'm gonna watch it. I think it's a must for sure.
that's exciting.
Three questions left. Let's do it. For the next question, André, I can see that you are very open about your sexuality. You know, you are very okay about it. Tell me, how was for you growing up as a gay boy back in the south of Brazil? Did you have the support of your family? It was a bit tricky. Tell me a little bit about your experience, if it's okay for you to talk about it.
No, it's totally fine. It was one of the trickiest things for me, the hardest things for me, the most punishing things for me when I grew up. Like I wouldn't say self-punishing, but punishing. Because my whole family, as being Mormon, I could say that I had to almost live a double kind of life. Like I would have to be one person around my family, and I would be a completely different person when I was not with my family. So I grew up thinking it was wrong, thinking it was nasty, thinking it was evil, thinking it was bad, thinking it was sinful. Um, and I came out to my parents when I was 17 years old. I came out to my grandmother on my father's, my paternal grandmother when I think I was 13 or 14 when I came out to her
Wow,
because
amazing.
she was a Catholic and she was way ahead of her time, like way ahead of her time. Like she was super forward, super like extrovert, super like, okay, whatever you have to tell me, just tell me and we'll deal with it or whatever it is. And I remember telling her that I liked boys, and then she just looked at me and she was like, now tell me something I don't know.
I love it. I love it.
And she was like, Andre, I don't care. Like, I couldn't care less. Like, as long as you're happy and you can be yourself, I will love you just, I love you even more now because I always knew, and now you're finally starting to accept it. But I didn't accept it at the time. And so when I was 17, I came out to my parents. My mom, she flipped when I came out. And my father, he just sat there in front of me and he just was like, okay, I just hope it doesn't turn into a habit.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, okay. So it was super hard for me. So when I came to Florida when I was 20 years old, I lived everything that the gay life has to offer. Like literally everything except for drugs. It was something that never got my attention. But everything else, like sexually speaking, relationship wise and everything. So I knew that yes, that was me. Like I finally accepted myself for who I was or who I am. And then when I was, but it was still hard on my family. They still didn't talk about it. They still didn't accept it. So my first relationship was pretty like torn, like it was broken. It was like messy. It was, all over the place. It was not healthy. It was toxic in all sorts of ways. But because of that, because I thought it was wrong, so I would only maybe attract what was wrong for me. And then when I was 23, and this is something that comes hard on me, when I was 23 years old, I tried to take my own life. And something saved me. And I don't know what saved me. That's why I started believing in God even more. So something saved me at the moment, and I came back home. I was still living with my parents at the time, And then I told my mom what had happened, and then she knew she would lose a son over religion.
Wow.
And then, and this is what gets to me the most about religion. And this is one of the main reasons I don't go back to any of them. Because when I think you put faith or anything above the love for your family, no matter who that family is, I think that is wrong. That is going the other way, the opposite direction that God wants you to go. Uh,
Wow.
so then my mom, like, she just turned around. She just talked to me, and we talked for hours, and she was like, I just wanted to be happy and I will love you. So she and my father started accepting it then. And then, but I was only able to bring my first boyfriend to their place when I was, I think, 28 or 20,
Mhm.
yeah, 28, I guess I was, or something.
Wow. Wow, André, I've got goosebumps again. I think so powerful this, statement you just said now. I think first, thanks for being so open and talk about that because it's not easy to go, back to those difficult moments. Also, I love the story about your grandmother. My God, you were so young, 13 years old, and you felt this connection that you could be open to her. And also, when you were saying, "Oh, I came out to my grandmother because she was," I thought you would say because she was Miranda Priestley. I was like, instead of Christian, I thought you'd say that. I was expecting you to say that. Question for you: do you think your mom knew it before you came out? Deep
Oh yeah.
inside,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, she did. Oh yeah, like because I remember when I came out to her when I was 17, like I told her before Christmas that I was like, "Mom, I need to talk to you about something before Christmas."
Right.
And then she was like, okay, but I never, the
Yeah.
conversation, the moment never came up. Like we were always doing things because preparing
Yeah.
for Christmas and everything. And a week before Christmas, sorry, and a week before Christmas, she came to me and she sat me down, and then I was trying to tell her, and then she was like, "Are you having sexual intercourse with other men?"
Wow.
And then I was like, "Yes, I am. I
Wow.
have been." And then and that was the moment that she cried, and she was like, I didn't raise a son to be gay or anything of that sort, and blah, blah, blah. But then eventually, she came around.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I think, again, yeah, I think that our parents, most of the time they know us even better than ourselves. You know what I mean? They know their child. You know what I mean? Sometimes even if they don't want to go there, they want to somehow block some bits of us because religion or because society or because other, things. However, they know their child very well, and I think. But I'm glad that things turn around in a good way, and I love as well that somehow, you know what I mean, she puts you first than religion or any other thing. Next question is, what's the biggest risk have you ever taken?
Was when I decided to move to the United States, like,
Hmm.
and just leave everything behind. Because you don't leave just family, friends, a house, a home, food, places, you leave behind a whole version of yourself.
It's true.
Like and you try to reinvent yourself in the new place.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, it's like pretty bumpy, but then eventually you discovering this new version of yourself that tends to be better than the
Wow.
previous one.
And when you think about Brazil, yeah, what do you miss the most besides your family? There's something about our culture or something about Brazil itself that you cannot have it with you, in the US. There's something that if you could bring with you, if you could somehow turn into your daily base life, there's something.
Can I give you two?
You can, yeah, absolutely.
The beaches of Brazil
Okay.
and the food.
What's your favorite Brazilian food?
The food will never be the same here. Never. They try, but it'll never be the same. My favorite Brazilian food, um, I guess it's the good barbecue on Sunday.
So from the south, people from the south, they don't live without their
Yeah, good barbecue on Sunday.
barbecue. Do you like cooking?
I love cooking, yes, but my boyfriend does most of it because he went during the pandemic times, he took into his life like to do cooking, baking, like to learn all the things, all the tricks. So he makes pizza from scratch, pasta from scratch, like everything.
Oh,
So he does most of the cooking because he's passionate about it. But I love cooking. Yes, I love cooking.
two questions left. Let's do it. Okay, next question is, who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
My paternal grandmother. Uh, when I lost her, it was like the biggest, the big one of the after my father, of course, because my father already passed as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I lost him for COVID. Um, it was a big, like a ginormous, a humongous, like a monstrous loss for me
Mhm.
because I had on her like my guardian angel, my rock, my everything I needed to talk about. I could always turn to her and like talk about it. She would always listen. She would be the most loving, helpful person you would ever come across. And she had us, I think that my father also had. Like whenever they talked to someone, they would be the best listeners you would ever come across. And they would be so interested in you, like that you wouldn't cross paths for like a whole year. And then you would come across each other eventually. And then they would ask about that project you talked about that day, or that person you talked about, or how is that relationship going? Like, so they were really interested in every person's life. And for you to have an idea, like when my grandma or my father, they went to the store, instead of taking like 30 minutes or an hour to do their shopping, it would take them 2 or 3 hours because they would, run into people and like just stop to talk for like as if nothing else was going on in their lives. So yeah, that was her. For sure.
Do you think you one day you're gonna meet her again?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I truly believe that.
very sweet. Last question, ready? Let's
Yes.
do it. Last question.
Yes.
Before the last question, André, of course, you've been teaching for a while now, yeah, and I can see how much you enjoy, how much you appreciate your career. Tell me a moment or a situation in your career that you're never gonna forget, that for you always gonna have a special place in your heart for any reason.
I think that when I was able to walk with my own legs, when I was able to do it on my own out there, and just have my private classes and my tutoring, and not need to have any formal jobs. And I would make way more money than having a formal job. For me, that was the moment that I knew for myself that I'm like, you know what they say, the best ones don't like to be bossed around. They usually boss around.
Just out of curiosity, what's the most frequent mistakes that us Brazilian people, when we are learning English, that we tend to carry on doing the same mistake when we learn English? There is anything that comes to your mind?
Preposition wise, like the
Yeah,
use of the prepositions,
for
and
example.
especially the confusion with at, to, and in.
All
Like
right.
Brazilians have a hard time with those, like a real hard time with those. And I guess that another one is the pronunciation wise as well. Like many Brazilians, they struggle like pronounce. And for me, I'm not very picky about pronunciation. I used to be more, but today I'm
Mhm.
not anymore because I know that there is an accent, and
Yeah,
we
yeah,
always have that accent.
yeah,
But there is pronunciation mistakes that hinder communication. And many Brazilians struggle with those, like, and they keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating
yeah.
it. And the one that comes to my mind, like the most, is the word since,
Uh-huh.
the word identify. These
Why
are
is
the
that?
these are the two words because Brazilians will say signs and they
Right.
say identify instead of identify.
Identify.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm like, okay, so so I work on details, like I try to compare with other words and everything until they get it. But it's the two main, I guess that it's the main ones.
I remember back in Brazil when I started studying English and I was 12 years old. I remember there I couldn't say nice to meet you. I don't know why. I was like nice to meet. I couldn't get the whole thing together, and I was like nice to meet to was complicated, and I got it. It took me a while.
I just came with another one. There is one that is you will or will you.
Right.
It's super tricky for them, super tricky for them because of the L sound that we don't
Yeah.
have. We don't have this dark L sound like
Yeah.
will.
Well,
So because we don't have it, it's like really hard. They say "e will," like not "you will." It's like it's you will, and they
you
can't.
great. Last
Uh-huh.
question is that a dream you always had?
Go bungee jumping in South Africa.
Wow. Do you think he's gonna do it one day, very soon or
Yes.
not? Yes.
Yes. As soon as my travel permit comes, I want to start planning that trip
And
with my boyfriend. Huh?
why South Africa?
Because it's the highest one in the world.
Oh my God. I thought it would be just something connected with the nature or something.
It's the highest one in the
Wow.
world. It is between two mountains, so it's in nature. Like, they are ginormous, gigantic mountains. And I guess the that this jumping from like bungee jumping and stuff, just like doing skydiving, gives you a sense of freedom that nothing else
Yeah.
does. So like I don't and I love the adrenaline rush. I love adrenaline. I am almost an adrenaline junk. So I just want to do it. This is one of my biggest dreams.
Oh, wow. Have you done skydive before or not?
No, never. This I want to do here in Utah. They have many places where they do it because of the mountains and everything. So I want to do it. Mhm.
I'll tell you something, André. I'd love to do it as well, but I don't think I'm ready yet. I don't know if I'm
What?
gonna be ready very soon.
Are you afraid of heights? Are you scared of heights?
To be honest, I'm not. But I can, flying, everything connected with everything scare me at all. However, the as you said, adrenaline, knowing that you're gonna jump, that's for me, that's kind of block me, and I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. I need to work on it somehow.
I love it because like every time I go to water parks, amusement parks, any place, like I ride the most thrilling rides you can imagine, like the craziest ones. And I'm like, I love it.
Somehow, when I go to those parks as well, I can do it. But I'm not like excited about doing it. You know what I mean? Somebody needs to somehow encourage me or say, let's do it. I can do it. It's not a big deal. However, I'm not the first one to say, okay, let's do it now. No, I'm not going to be the first one for sure. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
All
Let's
right, let's try.
family,
Love,
money,
power,
fear.
fear,
Yeah,
life,
and one word for life.
tricky,
Love,
good,
religion,
hard,
sex,
Passionate.
Politics.
Boring.
Friendship.
Nurturing.
Desire.
Sex.
Regrets.
None.
Success.
Freedom.
Wish.
Disney.
Interesting. Happiness.
State of mind.
Okay. Um, one word for Rio Grande do Sul.
Rich.
One word for Brazil.
Diverse.
Salt Lake City. One word.
Cold.
USA. One word.
Strict.
And the last one now. English teacher. One word.
Love.
Amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your boyfriend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask him, what is the most beautiful thing about you? Yeah, about André, and what's something that he still needs to work on? He still needs to put some work on it. What do you think he would say?
The most beautiful thing is my joy to life, towards life. And the thing that I have to work on the most is my communication when it comes to the hard conversations.
Interesting. And if I would ask the same question to your mom, what would be her answer?
I guess that the most beautiful thing about my mom would say about me is my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I have to work on the most is my organization.
Okay. Let's play now, André, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you asking the question, what's your favorite English words and your favorite Portuguese words?
My favorite English word is awkward.
Interesting.
And my favorite Portuguese word, I would say saudade, but I think that's too cliche. So I think that my favorite Portuguese word,
Saudade is cool.
yeah, I think saudade could be. Yeah, that should work.
Do you teach some Portuguese to your boyfriend sometimes or not?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I help him with some Portuguese. I'm trying to, like, he has a very good ear, like a very good ear.
Okay.
But you know what they say, santo de casa não faz milagre, right? So, or casa de ferreiro, espeto de pau. So I try to teach him a few things. He catches on really well, but I
Mm-hmm.
never, we never caught on to it. So,
I see. Okay, André, you can ask me a question now.
uh, you're based in the UK, right?
Yeah, in London.
When you decided to move,
Mhm.
what is the biggest thing you had to give up?
Good question. Wow, what a great question. Right, so I left Brazil when I was 19. I moved to Portugal. I was in Portugal for almost 5 years, yeah. And I've been in England, in London, most of my life. So I would say something, the hardest thing that, wow, what a great question, put right in the spot. And I like that. I love it. You know what? I would say the comfort from family and friends that I always had, back in Brazil. You know very well, we have this tendency of being very warm, like, about our personality. We have the thing about Brazilian people that where we can feed 5 people, can feed 7, where, you can have a few people to sleep, we can always double and put more people to sleep as well. We find a way to accommodate, our way of living. I think that's something about Brazil that you don't find anywhere. You know what I mean? So for me, I didn't realize at the time. I just realized when I arrived in Europe, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? We don't have this here. There's this warmth connection that we had. So I think I'm not sure if it's the right answer. Giving up, yeah, wasn't a giving up situation, but it was something that you know I just left there somehow, even without knowing it was there, left, and I just realized that I didn't have that when I start my life here in Europe. So yes, I would say that giving up this comfort, this protection that it was naturally given to me, that I somehow, of course, I wouldn't be able to have here when I start my journey in Europe. So yeah, that's my answer for you. Very right in the spot. I was expecting that.
Good. It was a good answer. I liked it. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Enjoy interview, André.
It was great. I really loved it. I had a great time.
Thanks again. Thanks for being so kind and so sweet, and also to be so open, talking about some topics that I know it's hard. I know it's not easy to go there, but at the same time as well, it's about healing. It's about helping people. You never know. People watch this interview. Maybe they might be in a situation that you've been in the past, and see someone talking so open about it. So you are over it somehow. It made you a stronger person. It's inspiring, and I think people appreciate that. So thanks again for being so sweet and kind as well.
Thank you
And
for having me.
before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you leave.
I guess that I thought I gave that a little bit of thought this week after we talked, and I think the message that I want to share is that the rarest thing there is to live. Most people merely exist.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Muito obrigado.
De nada, eu que agradeço.
Obrigado. And keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show, okay?
It's been a pleasure for me too.
Regard your family, your boyfriends, and Happy New Year.
Okay, Happy New Year to you too. Bye-bye.
Take care. Ciao, ciao. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.